Have you ever faced a challenge that just felt completely impossible? A mountain so high you couldn't see the top. A problem so complex you didn't know where to start. We've all been there. It's in those moments of feeling stuck and overwhelmed that a simple yet profoundly powerful truth can change everything. Today, we're diving into one of the most encouraging verses in the entire Bible, Matthew 19, verse 26. Let's set the scene first. A rich young man has just walked away from Jesus, sad because he couldn't part with his great wealth to follow him. Jesus then tells his disciples how difficult it is for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven, even comparing it to a camel going through the eye of a needle. The disciples were astounded and asked, "Who then can be saved?" And this is where Jesus delivers this incredible line of hope. He looked at them and said, "With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible." Think about that for a second. With man, this is impossible. Jesus acknowledges the limitation. He understands our human perspective. He gets that when we look at our own strength, our own resources, our own wisdom, some things are just genuinely out of reach. He's not telling us to ignore reality. He's validating that feeling of impossibility. But then comes the pivot, the game changer. But with God, all things are possible. This isn't just a nice, feel-good phrase. It's a declaration of divine capability. It shifts our focus from our own inadequacy to God's infinite ability. The verse isn't saying that we'll suddenly be able to leap tall buildings. It's about the things that truly matter in our spiritual and personal lives. It's about overcoming deep-seated habits, mending broken relationships, finding strength in the middle of sickness, or finding a way forward when there seems to be no way. So how do we take this powerful truth off the pages of the Bible and apply it to our messy, complicated, everyday lives? First, we need to identify our impossibles. What is that thing in your life right now that makes you feel like the disciples, asking, "How can this ever be solved?" Is it a financial struggle? A relationship that seems broken beyond repair? A personal flaw you can't seem to conquer? A dream that feels too big to chase? Name it. Acknowledge it before God. It's okay to admit, "God, from my perspective, this looks impossible." Next, we shift our focus. Instead of dwelling on the size of the mountain, we start focusing on the size of our God. This means spending time in prayer, not just asking for a solution, but reminding ourselves of who God is. He's the God who parted the Red Sea, who healed the blind, who brought life from death. The same power that did all of that is available to us today. This shift in perspective is crucial. It's the difference between staring at a locked door and turning to the one who holds the key. Then, we take a step of faith. This is where the rubber meets the road. Believing that all things are possible with God isn't passive. It often requires us to take a small, obedient step in the direction He is leading. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been dreading. Maybe it's applying for that job you feel underqualified for. Maybe it's forgiving someone who doesn't deserve it. Faith is a verb. It's acting on the belief that God will meet you where your human ability ends. Think about it this way. A boat can't cross the ocean on its own power. But when it raises its sails, it allows the wind and invisible, powerful force to carry it forward. Our faith-filled actions are like raising our sails. We do our part, and we trust God's power to do what we cannot. Finally, we practice patience and trust. God's timeline is not our timeline. All things are possible doesn't mean all things are possible right now. The answer might not look the way we expect. It might involve a long journey of growth and change. But the promise remains. God is working, even when we can't see it. Our job is to remain faithful, to keep trusting, and to remember that His power is not limited by our circumstances. So today, whatever impossible situation you are facing, I want to encourage you. Bring it to God. Lay it at His feet. Acknowledge your limitations, but then lift your eyes to His unlimited power. Remember the words of Jesus. With man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. Let that truth sink into your heart and give you the courage to face your mountains, not with your own strength, but with His. Thanks so much for watching. If this message encouraged you, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing for more content like this. We'll see you in the next video.